Welcome to the Scottish Watches podcast. We've got two guests today, two returning guests, one returning co-host, one returning guest. And I'm not even going to say anything. I'm going to pass the microphone across to Barbara Palumbo, what's on her wrist, to do the honours. So take it away, Barbara.
Scottish Watches, the first time we're doing video. This is so fun. Hi, everybody in Scottish Watches land. Thank you, Ricky. And our guest today is a guest we've had on before, but it's been a while. It's been 2 years, roughly. Hind, Director General for Dubai Watch Week. We have Dubai Watch Week coming up. We are so excited to have you back on Scottish Watches.
Hi, I missed you guys so much. I'm so happy we're doing this again. Thank you for having me again.
Well, this is the headquarters of where Dubai Watch Week is put together behind you.
Not this room, no. Actually, at the moment, we're on site. So we're on, the team is already on the DIFC site because it's countdown. So we're there, we're on site, making sure everything's being built on time, ready for all our guests.
This is the first time that we have managed to get Hind on so close to an event that she can actually tell us about it. Because the first time we had Hind on the show, we said, tell all the listeners how great this is going to be and what they're going to find out about. And you sat there and said, I can't release any information yet, but we've got you here. All the info is out. We can talk about everything, all the things that people are going to see, they're going to experience, and most importantly, things that people can get involved in, because this is not a turn up and watch event. It's not an exhibition. It's interactive. You have got the Creative Hub, you've got masterclasses, you've got forums, seminars, you've got Christie's, and you've got all these watch creators, brands, producers, designers, artists, all in this one epicenter where people can come along and they can just let loose. They can enjoy their passion for horology, new watches.
There's a children's option too. Is it the children's auction, right, Hind?
Yes, we have a children's auction, and we also even have a masterclass / activity for the kids as well, because they also want to participate, when they see all the grown-ups behind the masterclass window. So we created something for them as well.
I saw that in the list. I think it was a Fiona Kruger event.
Yeah.
Where she's doing this family thing. And I was looking at it to book the proper area, because everybody that's coming along, and by the end of this episode, everybody listening will want to come along. When you go to the website to click on the things you'd like to attend, there was one that said, with child. And I thought, I've never seen this before.
Oh, no, but you guys have been doing that for years, where you had like the children's auction with Christie's.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's been going on, Ricky, that's been going on for years with them. That's one of what has always been one of my favorite things about Dubai Watch Week is they make it completely inclusive to families, to like bring your children, absolutely bring your children. If you're in Dubai or if you live in Dubai or you're traveling over, either close by or overseas, you can bring your kids and have them just get involved in the watch world, which I adore. I think that's wonderful.
Because we fall during a weekend as well, and we purposely fall during a weekend so that people who work, can get in and have some time off and spend their time at Dubai Watch Week. But we also don't want them to alienate their family. So if they can bring their kids, they can bring their spouses along, and they could all have, a fun few hours on site. Some of them even spend the whole afternoon.
I must have completely missed that then. That was my fault. Hands up, apologies. But hey, it got us talking about something that we usually don't mention on the show.
We'll teach you, honey.
Thank you. That's it. We've got the Grandmasters here to tell us all about it.
We're moms. It's very important to us. We'll teach you.
Thank you very much. Well, we should probably do something that I usually forget anyway, and that is to tell people to check the show notes. If you're watching YouTube, check the description. If you're listening to the podcast in your podcast player, there will be a link. They'll take you to the website and the specific page that relates to this episode, where you can find out all the information, talking about any watches, talking about any events, talking about the masterclasses, all the brands that are going to be, all the brands that have been announced thus far that we can chat about on this show, and obviously a link straight to Dubai Watch Week's website where you can get your tickets, which do not cost anything. I believe it's free entry, so you can do all that, but the main thing to do is to get the wristwatch check out the way. And Hind, you are the guest. You're not the co-host, you're the guest, so you can tell us what you're wearing on the wrist today.
So I'm wearing a Rolex.
Okay. Oh, wow. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
So it's the day date with the rainbow index on. It's not a daily watch, I must say, but I had to wear it today. We had an occasion, we had a photo shoot, and I had to wear this. It matches what my abaya color is.
Oh, totally. That's fantastic.
What are you wearing? I have to ask you the same question.
Right, Barbara, you go next.
Okay, I am wearing my brand new Norcane
Nice.
Adventure Sports. So it's a 37 millimeter Norcane. I won't say they specifically designed it for women. They definitely had women in mind for this watch. And I got the white because I liked the white ceramic bezel. I kind of, I was teetering between the purple because I love the purple edition that they do in this, but I'm not a fan of the material that they use on the bezel. So I really like the ceramic bezel. And I got it last weekend at Little Treasury Jewelers just outside of Baltimore, Maryland. Shout out to my folks at Little Treasury, the crew, Steve and Linda and Maddie, like all you guys, love you guys. They're amazing. Yeah, I was there and I went, this really has been like my 50th birthday year. And so I just continue to keep adding watches to my collection for this year, for this to celebrate surviving 50 years on this planet. And so I think this is probably my second to last acquisition, which we can go into my last one in a little bit. Ricky, what's on your wrist, buddy?
Before we get into what's on my wrist, I'm going to ask, how is your 50th birthday gift from me coming along? Is it back yet?
I literally just, okay. So Hind, you don't know this. Ricky, for my 50th birthday, he was actually the first person to give me a gift, which was back in January of this year. We were in Vicenza for the Vicenza Oro jewelry fair, and they had vintage. They have a whole section VO vintage watches, and I fell in love with this crazy Longines that I had never seen before. It was a model that I'd never seen before. Ricky, before we left Italy, had gifted it to me as a surprise.
Oh, wow,
he
that's
went and
so
picked it up. He saw that I went crazy over it, and he did. He picked it up. And I was at a Longines event like 2 months later, and I wore it. So I was showing the folks who were there from Switzerland, and I was showing like the U.S. president. I'm not going to mention her name because I don't want her to get in trouble. And she was like, oh my gosh, can I see it? Can I try it on? And she dropped it. She pulled a me. I would usually drop it. Like I dropped a Grubel Force, and she dropped it.
And Ricky's face.
It broke.
Is this the first time you hear about this?
No, he knows. He knows the whole story.
Oh, he knows.
It broke.
It's still painful.
But thank God, because I've dropped my Sartori Ballard, which had to be repaired. I dropped a Grubel First at my first ever SIHH like 7 years ago. I dropped a Grubel. It wasn't me this time. It was actually, thank goodness, it was like the U.S. president of Longines, So, I mean, naturally, they sent it off to Switzerland to get repaired. And it's just, but we know, look, it takes a while. And especially for vintage pieces,
yeah, it does, especially if it's vintage, exactly.
they don't always have the parts and things like that. So I did check in with them last week. That's really funny because I've been in contact with them, and it's coming along. It'll be back on my wrist. I promise, Ricky. Believe me, you think I'm dying to wear it.
Yeah, but now you didn't answer his question. Is his gift ready or not?
No, it's not ready yet.
Soon.
Okay, we still love you, Longines. We still love you, but no, it's not ready. It's not ready yet. Oh man, it's out of my control.
You'll have it back for your 51st.
It's the Swiss. It's the dang Swiss.
I'm going to tell you what's on my... No, I'm not.
Why not?
I'm not going to tell you what's on my wrist. Barbara is going to tell you what is on my wrist today.
I'm not going to. No, I'm good. I talk too much as it is. I'm verbose.
Yes, that's the Barbara collab watch.
That's the What's on Her Wrist by Scottish Watches by Out of Order, Scotch on the Rocks. Yes, that was the 50th birthday limited edition, sold out in 10 days. We did 50 pieces. I love that. That really warmed my heart that you wore that.
It looks really good on your wrist. It really looks good.
I had it in New York with me this week.
For everybody that's not watching the video, and you'll have to check the show notes to see what we're talking about, this is the Out of Order watch that we did to celebrate half a century on planet Earth with Barbara Palumbo. This was an idea I was struck upon when we were across at Vicenza Oro. She's crying. I said half a century, isn't it? 3/4 of a century? Does that sound better?
Oh my God, half a century.
We're across in Vicenza Oro, as mentioned earlier on, and we saw this little stand in an area that was designated for Italian brands. It was showcasing the local talent, brands I'd never seen before. Out of Order, I definitely had heard of. And we got chatting to Riccardo there, and he was showcasing a new range that was launching later on that week, and they actually came in shaker, iridium coloured shakers, which was absolutely fantastic, and they were all
so
linked
funny.
with different types of drinks. So we got chatting. Barbara's ears pricked up when she was listening to the stories, and when we came back, we had a chat about things, and we came up with the idea of doing a celebratory limited edition, what's on a wrist, X Scottish watches, X out of order. And as you say, we promoted it online and it disappeared within, as you say, a couple of weeks, which is absolutely fantastic for this watch.
It's a GMT. That's the thing too. Like for $550 for a GMT was pretty astonishing. And he's coming. Actually, Hind, I spoke to Ricardo from Scottish Watches yesterday, and he's like, I'm flying to Dubai for Dubai Watch Week.
Oh, that's nice. So we get to meet them.
People are coming, like from Italy. I mean, Marco Carniello, who's the head of Vincenzo Oro, he's like, I'm coming at like.
That's amazing.
It's such a hot ticket right now. It's so like everybody wants to go, which I love hearing that when my people reach out to me who have never gone before and are like, we're doing it this year. We're coming along this year. Jonathan at Brew said to me, I ran into him this week at the Wind Up Watch Fair, and he went, "Are you going to Dubai?"
He's coming.
It's like, yes.
That's amazing.
I was like, yeah, 100%. He literally in his phone, he made a voice note, book tickets to Dubai.
Oh, wow, that's amazing.
So he was like, he goes, I'm going to book my tickets like within a day or two. Oh, he's coming out. He's coming. People are just like, let's do this. Like we're coming out. Which that makes me so happy.
I think anyone who loves the watch industry, who wants to, meet people, collectors, watchmakers, they shouldn't miss.
No, they shouldn't. They totally shouldn't.
And then Dubai is a beautiful city to enjoy as well. So, you just book your ticket. The weather would be amazing. Just come and enjoy Dubai and Dubai Watch Week.
That's true. As long as there's no handmade rain over there.
Oh my God. Let's not talk about how.
Do you remember that? Sorry.
Well, I know it's still happening. It's still happening. We were reading an article like a week ago that says cloud seeding is in process. And we're like, no, please, no. But listen, it is what it is.
Oh my gosh. So can we tell this story to Ricky? Because I don't think he knows the story. Ricky, do you know the story about the 1 year? It was the year before, right? Was it 2019, Hind?
It was 2019, yes.
Can I tell you something crazy? I was the only watch journalist media person who packed an umbrella for Dubai. My husband at the no, I packed an umbrella.
Barbara, please don't pack an umbrella.
My then husband, and I have to differentiate now, my then husband said to me, it's the desert. Why are you packing an umbrella? And I said, you know what? I'm sorry. I prepare for everything. I'm a mom. Like, that's what you do. You just prepare. And if I don't need it, I don't need it. But if I need it, I have it. I showed up. There's this beautiful picture of like Carlos Torres and like Alejandro from Watch Time Mexico, all huddled under I'm the only person there with an umbrella. Ricky, it never rains. It never rains in Dubai. And it rains, but it's a purposeful rain, right?
The opening day, it rained.
That's right. The press day, it was like press day.
And then the week before, we had strong winds. The booths, we had roofs fly over, and then we had to rebuild. It was a nightmare. That's why I don't want to talk about this. I hope it doesn't happen again. I want you guys to have amazing weather.
We're going to stop this conversation. Good vibes only. Good vibes.
No, but it's funny.
And do not pack an umbrella, I'm telling you.
I'm trying to do a good job to convince everybody across the world to come to this thing. Will you stop talking about rain?
Sorry.
Right, okay, let's take it back to the ground floor.
Listen, when it rains in Dubai, everyone is so happy. It's not like when it rains in London, everyone is...
Or Scotland.
Like, oh my God, it's raining again. No, when it rains in Dubai, everyone is super happy. So for us, it's really nice when it rains.
It's a great story.
Barbara, let me write this train. Let me sort things out here. Let's get everybody back on track for good vibes only. So the wrist checks are done. We found out about the only time it seems to rain in Dubai, and Barbara brings umbrellas with her. That's fantastic. We will not have that repetition of that again. But for anybody that's not been catching up with what me and Dave have been talking about in the podcast for the past few months, we've been teasing it along. We've announced when the dates were coming up. We've announced some of the people that are going, even prior guests on the show that have let the cat out the bag a little bit early, like the guys at Moser who said they were coming along. Even yesterday, a brand got in touch to say they're releasing 2 new watches at Dubai Watch Week. So we have got all the information ready to rock, but there's no point us telling you all about it when we've got Hind with us today to tell you all about it. So maybe give us a bit of a background on Dubai Watch Week, what the ethos is, where it came from, and the prior iterations of it leading up to the show that we're going to have in a few weeks' time.
Okay, so we started in 2015. And we started very small. We started with the independent brands because we felt like they're the ones who need the most, attention and who have the least budget. So we started with them. It was easier to convince the smaller independent brands to come on board with us. And then as we progressed, more brands, wanted to come on board. And I must say it's now becoming our biggest challenge. The number of brands that would like to participate at Dubai Watch Week and the limited space and availability of space we have on site. But we're very happy. We have more standalone brands this year. We were able to give up on certain venue space in order for us to give room for more brands to participate with us. So we're doing the best we can. We are an educational and a non-commercial platform. So it's very important that people understand there are no points of sales at the Dubai Watch Week exhibition, in the brand exhibition, on the standalone booth. No one is trying to sell you anything. What they're trying to do is to tell you their brand story, what they're all about, discuss innovation, show you craftsmanship, and what innovations are in the watch industry. And it's quite impressive, really. You guys are from the watch industry, so we see the most amazing things ever. And we're trying to make this event, not intimidating for people who know nothing about watches. That's why we market it as a lifestyle event, as a place where people come to meet other people who are interested in this industry, to meet collectors. We try to bring people across, a similar industries, whether it's the car industry, whether it's arts. We try to engage them in our horology forum as well, so that we can have discussions about different industries. There are different similarities, different things we can learn from each other, in order to show people the watch industry is not only for watch connoisseurs and geeks, but it's something for you to come and appreciate. So basically, I always say it's like, the Disneyland of people who love watches. If you really want to come and meet, the watchmakers, meet the CEOs behind the brands, meet top collectors, speak to people who are just, immersed in this world, Dubai Watch Week is the place to be, because even the mood is set right, because no one is there trying to sell anything or meet targets. And many brands started to choose our platform to launch global events. So we have quite a few global launches that are going to take place this year. And we also have special limited editions that are created for the UAE from several brands as well. There's so many things happening on ground. Plus, we have the master classes, and then we have the horology forum where we have different discussions. And we're bringing the debates back, which we started in New York, and Barbara was moderating most of these debates. It was very successful. We always try to find new formats. We want to be relevant to our audience. We want to remain relevant. We want to make it fun because we're the watch industry has always been dubbed as very serious, very technical. But guess what? We have so much fun in this industry, so we want to bring that fun out, and then we chose Barbara to do that, and she's gonna do the same here in Dubai, the same thing she did in New York. I don't know how excited you are for that. You have quite few interesting debates.
I'm already prepared, Hind, for the James Dowling, Tim Masso one. because that one's going to be, that one's going to be the one where I'm like, okay, guys, yeah, I'm prepared. I'm pre-prepared.
Oh my God. Oh yeah, that is going to be epic. Obsessive clock disorder is the title of that debate.
Yes, I know. I love that. But we'll get into it. I want Ricky to drive the train. Go ahead, Mr. Conductor. Where are we headed next on this?
Okay, I'll try my best. I shall try my best. So, unpacking what Hind explained there quite quickly, there is so much to explain. The first thing is, what I noticed with my first visit, which was in 2021, was, like you say, it's Disneyland for watch geeks. You turn up and you're just blown away with what goes on. And it's not a case of there's a separation between the public, the press, the media, and the creators. Everybody intermingles. The booths, there's not a counter between you and the person from the brand. Everybody is there to chat and talk, and you can walk past the CEO of AP. You can bump into Tim Mosso from the Watchbox. You can meet all the journalists, all the bloggers, all the writers, all the YouTubers, all the... Watch Anish was there. Kevin O'Leary was there from Shark Tank the last time. will.i.am was walking around and just acting like normal human beings, the way it should be most of the time. But at Dubai Watch Week, it is like a wonderland, and it's all these things mixed together. You think you're having a fun time, but when you come home, you actually realise you've learned so much. There were brands I didn't know anything about that I now have a bit more knowledge about and then followed up with afterwards. So it opened my eyes to so much. I thought I knew a little bit, I knew nothing until I went across. And Barbara hosting these different talks, panel discussions and forums, that was the most fun for me because I'm sitting in the front row watching my buddy up there giving everybody a tight. There was all the confrontations, there was all these big egos you would think. They disappeared. There was no egos at all. Everybody was just there to have a great chat, a great conversation, and they checked their egos at the door. That's what it's all about. And we've mentioned the show many times. Curtis, young 17-year-old kid from down south that listened to the podcast, booked time off work, booked a plane ticket, flew to Dubai, age 17. And it was insane. It was brilliant.
Yes, I remember him.
Oh, Barbara, maybe you can explain a little bit about your role within Dubai Watch Week and what you do, because you wouldn't even tell me what was going on. I had to read it on their website.
No, I can't.
It's all out there.
I can't. You are sworn. It's like the CIA. You are sworn to secrecy. Like this is, and I don't break.
That.
I don't listen. I don't break embargoes. I think anybody who knows me through the watch journalism community knows that if you show me something and I go, oh, this isn't out until next week, nope, I'm not even taking a picture of it. I don't want to break an embargo. It's just not something that I do. I would be mortified. So yeah, I don't break embargoes. But the team, Shruti and Sarah, and the whole Dubai Watch Week team, they're very good at also limiting what information we speakers or moderators get up front until the time comes. And I love that. I love that it's like, it really is kept sort of whole and wholesome and just kind of like, okay, now everybody gets these little bits, like we get like little, Hansel and Gretel, the breadcrumbs a little bit throughout. Like, it's like, okay, we get a little bit of this, until the time comes where it's like, here's the information. And I love that. And usually that's close to when like right now on Instagram, and obviously follow Dubai Watch Week on Instagram, which is just at Dubai Watch Week. But, a couple times a week now, they're releasing who the speakers are, who the panelists are, who the moderators are. And, this week I think it was Saturday, they announced me for one of the two debates that I'm doing. And the debate that has been announced, so that's the one I'm going to talk about, is the to be or not to be spoke. And that is going to be Nick Fulks against your buddy, Ricky, Mr. Bamford.
George Bamford.
Yes. So that is going to be another one I might need. I might need this to quiet them down. That's going to be an incredibly interesting debate. But I will say this. So my first Dubai Watch Week was 2017. And I had only been writing about watches for about a year and a half, like writing again, at this point, I'm 27 years on the jewelry side, but strictly writing about watches. I had only been doing it about a year and a half when I was first invited to Dubai Watch Week, and I could not believe it. I had never been in the Middle East. I had never been in Dubai, and I think, Hind, you know the story about me, like reading, making sure I was like, okay, I want to make sure I'm totally culturally correct. And I got there and I was just like, this is the most fun town, and it's just loose and lighthearted. And Emirati people are so nice. They're, like you said, I love that, Hind, you said we want to make it fun, because I have so much fun when I'm there, whether it's from the moment I wake up and watch those Horology Forum debates or taking master classes. They're always so much fun. Or, going to the parties in the standalone booths at night, APs doing something or Chopard's doing something. And usually it involves whatever new release is coming out. For me, it's so much fun hanging with colleagues, meeting new people, meeting new enthusiasts and collectors. It's been a tremendous experience. I was lucky enough to have been asked to moderate 1 year later in London when it was Horology Forum, which is always on the even years.
It was the first traveling edition.
It was the first traveling edition. And I remember thinking that there were only 5 panels at the time. And it was the 4 other moderators were Andrew Hildreth, Dr. Andrew Hildreth, John Reardon, Jack Forster, and Suzanne Wong. And I thought the fact that you had asked me to be in the company of those, I was such a novice still, but to be in that, to be held in like that company was, I cried. I mean, I felt so honored. And we had so much fun because we did have Fiona Kruger, and we did have Peter Speakmarin, and Chris Sace, and Dario Spallone from, here's a young guy who, I think I made the joke, I had shoes older than him during the debate. Like I did. I said, I have shoes older than you. It's funny. We've become great friends. I see him in Vicenza. Like I see him around, right? Ricky, we saw his remember, we saw him in Vicenza in last January. And like, what a sweetheart of a guy. And he's always like, Barbara, like we're family now. And I think that's what, to me, that's largely what Dubai Watch Week has done is, I knew the journalists because you knew them from SIHH or you knew them from Basel World, but I have made friends through just the enthusiast community and the collector community. And I have been so honored to have spoken. I think I was a moderator at every edition since, except for the COVID edition. That was the only time I didn't moderate something, was when we only did it online, the Zoom edition. So thank you, obviously, for having me. And yes, I'll be moderating 2 of the debates again this year. I'm stoked.
It's always a pleasure to have you. Like, you make things extra fun. And and you said something very important, because everyone who comes to Dubai Watch Week, it's like we form, a club or a community together. Even with the journalists, like I've been in the industry for 17 years, I've become closer to the journalists ever since we started Dubai Watch Week. It's not just like, okay, walk in and let's have an interview, and then I forget about you, and then who is that journalist I spoke to? No, we make sure you come again. You're part of the community, you're part of the family. You just come and enjoy. We become a family, and that's something like no one has been able to achieve besides Dubai Watch Week. And I'm gonna say that, I'm not gonna be humble about it, but
no, say yes. Thank you for not being humble about it. Yes.
We did it. We did it. We were able to make people who never spoke to each other, or CEOs who never sat against each other to debate anything or discuss anything, sit against each other and talk and discuss. And, people who probably never thought of collaborating with each other to think about, maybe I can do something with this person. Or, hey, listen, I have the same issue as you have. How did you resolve it? So this type of conversation, no one has been ever able to do.
That.
We started by what we started, and we want to continue this community. We want to continue this, and we want to. We want to play this role of not only incubators for new brands. We always have space. Like this year, the Collectors Lounge is coming back again. We're making sure brands you've never heard of before, or very small brands, have room, to exhibit some of their collection, even if they're just starting. We want to play that role.
So Hind, are we talking? Are you having micro brands this year?
We're having micro brands as well. Yes.
Oh, that's your first time, right?
It's not our first time. We had this small section for them in the collector's items, but we're having them back again. So we're doing that. If they're not, or some of them are not ready to show anything, we have like Remy Cools who's coming with one watch only. And we're like, it's okay. Let people see your work, even if it's only one watch. Let them meet you. Let them see what you're all about. Talk to them. You're in a collector's lounge, so it's in a small, cozy area where, people who are interested in micro brands and who are interested in, new independent brands would come and talk to you. So we want to continue to play this role. And we want people to feel comfortable to reach out to us to say, listen, I'm starting my own brand. Who do you think I should talk to? Where do I start? Do you know a supplier who can help me with this? We want to be that platform.
I love it.
And people who know us, they approach us for things like that. And we're very happy that they feel comfortable and they trust us enough to approach us.
Well, for the people that maybe are already interested and it's time to seal the deal, let's run through the announcements thus far. Which brands are we talking about? Who are we going to be seeing when we come across to Dubai this year?
We have over 60 brands, okay? Yes, we have over 60 brands. We have the standalone booths outside. We have Rolex, we have AP, we have Chopard, we have Tudor, we have Hublot, we have Bulgari outside this year with their own standalone booth. We have
that's perfect.
Yes.
Perfect.
And we have Chanel, which is new, and they've never been with us, so they're participating for the first time. We have Ulysse Nardin and Gerard Parago with a standalone booth, and we have Van Cleef and our pals. When they're coming with an amazing experience. I mean, I don't have to tell you, like when Van Cleef curates an exhibition, when you go to their booth in his items, there's always something magical. So Van Cleef is coming, and actually they are taking one of the biggest spaces we have, and this is the first time it's been offered to a brand. But because of the experience they came with, we said, yes, of course, we want our visitors to come and experience something like that. And we hope that when the brands see the type of experience, that a watchmaker, especially one that's as poetic as Van Cleef, can achieve, they would be encouraged to do even more in the next edition of Dubai Watch Week. So those are the new participants. And then we have so many inside. We have Beauvais, we have MBNF, we have MBNF, and we have Mad Gallery as well.
Yes.
So we're showing the mad pieces, but it would be in a different area. It's not going to be in the exhibition booth. We have Ming. I can't remember what those. I don't want to say all the names and then forget anyone, but they're all listed on the website. And we definitely have GPAG with us again. They've always been with us. They were with us from the beginning, from 2014 actually, where we first hosted them. And then thought, hosting GPAG alone, the tour is not enough. We need to do more. And that's when 2015 idea came along. So they're going to be as well showing the winning watches, because by then the winning watches would be announced.
I was just at so I was in New York this week for the Watch Time and Wind Up Watch Fair happen. It's the same week in New York every October. But GPHG, the nominated watches were showing at Watches of Switzerland. And I got to see and I'm just on the Academy, but got to see the nominated watch. So I love the fact that the winners are already announced by the time Dubai Watch Week rolls around. So you actually get to see the winning watches, which I love that. I think it's great.
I got to experience all the prior winners 2 years ago because you had an exhibit where they were all showcased. And me and Dave obviously speak about the watches. We talk about GPHG nominations ahead of time, but to have them all there physically, it was different. You got to, it was like going to an art exhibit versus looking at a catalogue or a magazine. So that's fantastic. To add in, these brands that you're talking about, Rolex, Tudor, Chopard, Hublot, etc. Again, it's not a case of you turn up and you just get to talk to somebody about it. They have the watches there and you can experience them on the wrist. That's different from trade shows or media shows where the public generally don't have any access. This is a fully accessible show for everybody. And as you mentioned, children are welcome. So you can go along, you can try on an AP that normally you wouldn't be able to even find in a boutique. You can try on an MB&F, a Beauvais. Our work are going to be there, I believe. There's all these independent, high horology makers, designers.
Rubel Force, Moser.
Yeah.
You're also going to have collectors who come with watches in their pockets, and if you talk to them, they pull things out from their pocket, and they're like, "Oh, did you see this? That's amazing."
Well, you get to check people's wrists as you walk around. You can spot somebody. When I met Tim Mosso, and he, for me, is a horological hero, because by watching his videos, it got me into the hobby that led to doing the podcast. And when I got to meet him, I was starstruck. It was like meeting a movie star for somebody that likes that type of thing. And I was chatting to him, and I spotted what he had on the wrist. And you should never ask Tim Mosso to tell you about a watch unless you've got a spare 10 minutes. Because he started to go, this one here, it's da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da, went through all this stuff. Well, we love him.
Yeah.
We love you, Tim. We love you.
No, we love him. We love him.
We love you, Tim.
We love you, Tim.
Yeah, by the way, Tim's debate is getting filled up really fast, so people need to start registering for it.
Well, and against James, it's going to be like, I'm not going to be able to shut them up. Oh my gosh. Between Tim and James, oh.
No, you'll be able to handle it. That's why we chose you, don't worry.
So you get to meet these people. You get to spot all this stuff.
I'll have to interrupt you and tell you, we also have Louis Vuitton participating with us. And they also have a creative hub to talk about the Fabrique du Temps, but also about, the foundation that they've created for the new watchmaker. So they're going to have a creative hub to talk only about that. So it's nice to have new brands participating with us, because they bring, new energy. They have new stories to tell. So that's really exciting.
There's also going to be some people coming along that weren't there 2 years ago when I first went. Adrian from Bark and Jack, he's coming along. We've got Andrew from the Watchfinder channel, who also has his own channel. He's coming along. There's going to be so many folks. Marco from Swiss Watch Gang, who is a regular there. He is so cool.
Oh my God. And his content is always amazing. He really gives, he's really amazing.
Marco's amazing.
So there's all these guys that you'll have seen on Instagram, on YouTube, you'll have heard on the podcast before. It's just a community-based event. We cannot say enough good things about it. And you're right, Hind, we can't go through the entire list of 60-plus exhibitors, because we'll be here for 3 hours. We'll link it in the show notes. You can check out Dubai Watch Week's YouTube channel. That is an untapped, undiscovered gem of a place that people don't know about. The actual YouTube channel for Dubai Watch Week has got such great content. It will give you a feeling of what's happened before. And the production quality is unparalleled.
And we try to create content that is funny, sarcastic, especially with secondhand.
Secondhand is my favorite thing you've ever done. It's my favorite thing you've ever done.
If you haven't watched secondhand, you have to. Because it's a segment, that Sarah created, and she chose CQ.
CQ.
To be her co-host. And they have great energy together. We just want this type of light content to be available for people who really don't know anything about the industry, but also those who always watch, very detailed YouTube videos about watches and all the technical discussions about them, to have fun and to enjoy the jokes and all of this that happens around it.
Ricky, have you seen it?
Of course.
When I see them pop up in my Instagram reels, I get so excited. When they make me the butt of the joke, I live for it. I love it so much. I love secondhand. It's so funny.
Thank God you have a sense of humor.
I love it.
But listen, it's real. The content on our pages is different. Even Icons versus Icons is coming back, by the way. So we're recording new episodes during this Dubai Watch Week as well.
I'm so excited.
Right, I have a question then, because we've already convinced 90% of the audience. We've got 10% still to go. For people that are travelling a fair distance, obviously Barbara has got a longer distance to travel than I have. But even from the UK, when I was looking at flight prices for people that maybe want to attend, £500 there or thereabouts for a return ticket across on a luxury liner. It's well worth doing that way. There are local places you can stay depending on your budget, Airbnb all the way up. For people that are coming across and want to maybe look at other things within Dubai, what are the other attractions that they can check out while they're there?
Yeah, I mean, very close to us, across from us, the Museum of the Future has opened. Last time when Dubai Watch Week started, they opened a few weeks after us. So this year you get to visit the Museum of the Future. It's a very impressive museum, which is just across the road from us. We have a festival that runs for 6 months, and it's called Global Village, where you can go and like enjoy and see like different markets from different countries. They bring their food, they bring all of their traditional, clothing and all of that. It's really a fun place to go to. We have the Gold Souk and the Fahidi district, which is the old town of Dubai, which is really nice, and you don't want to miss. It's by the creek. We have so many things to enjoy in Dubai. So really, really, anyone who comes to Dubai, it's never a bad idea. Even though it's November, but the weather is really good to even enjoy the beach. So we have beautiful hotels, we have beautiful resorts. The desert is like, if you've never been to the Arabian desert, when you're in Dubai, you have to make time to go to the desert. And November is the perfect time. It's really, really an amazing experience. So there's a lot to do in Dubai. Besides, the 5 days of Dubai Watch Week, you can spend the mornings with us and the afternoon, and then the evenings in the desert. There's a lot to do. There's amazing nightlife. I mean, Barbara can tell you about that. There's a lot of things, excellent food, a lot of amazing Michelin star restaurants in Dubai. It's just an amazing city. So it is my city, and I'm very proud of it. And everyone has to come and visit, even if it's just once in your life.
How about Hind? Of all of those things she mentioned, did not mention the fact that it is home to the tallest building in the world, the Burj Khalifa. So, of course.
Yes, and one of the biggest malls in the world as well. So if you plan to go to Dubai Watch Week with the biggest aquarium and underwater zoo, we even have a mall with a ski slope in it. And that's why when we go and ski, everyone's like, how do you know how to ski? We're like, we took lessons in the mall.
Yes, in the mall. Like it's in the
desert, in a country.
It really is astonishing. I think I went to an event midway through Dubai and Abu Dhabi.
The IFC, where the event takes place, is the business center of Dubai. So we're in the middle. So it's very easy to navigate around it. Yes, there is Dubai traffic. I'm not gonna lie, traffic is back. But it's not as bad as everyone thinks. It's like we have highways in most of the area, so our traffic is relatively tolerable.
Well, the reason I ask is we want to convince perhaps the significant others of collectors and enthusiasts who are wanting to come across and are thinking, how am I going to get away with this? If I'm going to be looking at watches, what's going to occupy the family for the rest of the time? So you've answered that question perfectly. And when we were across 2 years ago, we caught up with a lot of the listeners to the podcast. We actually went out for a couple of meals with people, collectors, enthusiasts, and we got a bit of a tour of the greater area. And the landscape during the day is phenomenal. At night time, it lights up. I've never seen anything quite like it. So it is a massive experience over and above all the things that you can pop on your wrist. So Barbara, before we kind of close things out and let him get on with all the preparation, anything else you want to tell people about the event?
Yeah, I mean, come on. I think what we didn't touch on a lot was masterclasses, which are always some of my favorite things. I mean, I remember, I think the first Dubai Watch Week I attended in 2017, you guys, there was an engraving class, and enameling. There have been enameling classes. Fiona Kruger hosted 1 year design class. It just, to me, master classes are aside from Horology Forum, because that really is where I think I learn the most is Horology Forum. The master classes blow my mind because I'm almost 8 years into the fully delved into watches. But as Ricky, I have a metalsmith's background. So 27 years ago, I started.
Oh, can I just stop you right there and publicly on the show say thank you very much for all your help invaluable assistance in picking the engagement ring for my now fiance.
Yes. I don't know. Hind, do you know that Ricky got engaged?
Oh, that's so cute.
Yes.
Congratulations. No, I didn't know that.
Thank you very much.
Bring her to Dubai with you. You know, we have a vintage Norwegian. We have a masterclass session with a brand called Shaken. I don't know if you know them online. We bumped into them on Instagram, and what they do is he brings vintage Norwegian cutlery and transforms them into jewelry. You will enjoy that.
I have to sign up for that. I have to sign up for that. Totally.
So that's a masterclass we have. Yes. And the reason why we choose other things besides, watchmaking and engraving and things related to the watch industry is because we want to celebrate crafts in general.
It's craft. Yeah, I believe that. Like you said, cars and arts, it really is, that's all craft.
Exactly. So, we had brush making sessions before, just to show people how we humans can make things with our hands, no matter how simple they are, can do amazing things. And then we also have Beauvais coming with their sugar dial masterclass. That's amazing.
That I hope there's still space. I hope there's space left. I'm going to get on that.
They have the sugar dial that they've created. So their dial is made of actual sugar.
Sugar, yes, yeah, which can be colored. Yeah, absolutely.
Yes, it was in GPG as well.
Love that.
It was one of the nominees last year. It's amazing.
Yeah.
You have to enroll to that.
I'm going to try to sign up for that class. But yeah, that's probably one of the other things I wanted to mention. But I also want to mention this, and I haven't looked, but I'm going to say in years past. So Hind, you can correct me because I don't know what 4 weeks from now will bring, but we've talked about art, we've talked about masterclasses, we talked about Christie's being there, we talked about GPHG stuff, we talked about Horology Forum, we talked about, the standalone booths. What we didn't talk about was the food. You guys had in the past, you'd partner with Cipriani. So that was a beautiful place to eat. You partnered with local burger places. And so aside from all of that, there's also this beautiful food aspect. There's a beautiful entertainment aspect. You'll have local entertainers come in who are either singers or groups or bands. And so there's like you said, it's like Disneyland. There's always something going on. Even if you're walking from booth to booth or from masterclass to Horology Forum, something's happening in the background. And that is a very Disney experience. It really is. There's just always something going on. So I don't know, are you guys continuing with the really good food on premises?
Of course, the lifestyle is there. Yes. I mean, we love Cipriani a lot, but they're not with us this year. We're offering you guys to experience something new. It's a new restaurant. It's called La Nina. Amazing food. They're going to be serving breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And then we have another concept kitchen, which is called Kitchen, and we want it's a burger concept, noodles, anything you can think about. So more casual dining area, and in that area we'll have a lot of entertainment happening. And then we have 2 homegrown dessert places, one called Home Bakery and one called Twist. So we have a lot happening. Twist, yeah. So they're coming back. Again. So great food, you'll meet a lot of people, great music, a lot of entertainment. So there's a lot to do. You can spend literally a whole day over there. We have people who go and come in the morning and they come back again in the evening because, like you said, it lights up and then the venue becomes different.
It's amazing. So that's probably the last thing. I wanted to make sure that got mentioned too, Ricky, because I think people, there is so much going on that's watch related, non-watch related, but the Siddiquis and the Dubai Watch Week staff, they make sure down to the final detail, it is an experience for every single person who attends. And it's home for me. I absolutely love going. I love going.
It's a journey because from the moment, I've said this on the show, from the moment we hit the airport in Dubai until the moment we touched down back in Scotland, you guys took care of everything. We didn't have to think, which is great for me and Dave because we don't like to do that. And it was everything from walking from the hotel to the event. It was nearby. The event itself, from as soon as it opens until it closes at night, there is something to do. It doesn't matter what it is. It could be watches. It might not be watches. Like you say, the entertainment at night, the live entertainment, the singing, the dancing, the way that everything just transforms. It's like going to a big wedding event where during the day you've got this and you blink and it's all changed in front of you magically.
Yeah, we literally say it's like 5 days wedding, like
It's a 5-day watch wedding.
celebrating, friends, family. Even in the with the local community, people who don't attend events normally would attend the VIPs, ministers, they would just pass by because they enjoy it and they have fun. It's really, really laid back.
Love it.
And the last thing to say to everybody is it's free of charge.
It's free. And we have an app now. So download the app on the Android store, on the Apple store. You can go browse the whole schedule, book, register. It's completely free. All you have to do is just register, generate a QR code, and then come and enjoy.
And that is the final word on Dubai Watch Week. Come and enjoy. All the details will be in the show notes. You can go through everything there. All the things that have been announced so far have been enough to convince everybody I've spoken to, but there are going to be little bits and pieces getting dropped over the next few weeks as well. Me and Dave will be there, Adrian from Bark and Jack, Andrew from Watchfinder on his own channel, plus all the other creators, podcasters, YouTubers, Instagrammers. You cannot go wrong going to Dubai Watch Week. So Hind, we really appreciate you coming on, spending the time with us for your 3rd episode, I believe, and we can't wait to catch up with you in a couple of weeks' time.
Yes, I can't wait to see you guys.
You're the best. We cannot wait. We seriously cannot wait.
Excellent. Well, that is the end of a show. Thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. Check the show notes and follow us across to Dubai in a couple of weeks' time.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye. Thank you. Bye.